In the remote hemlock forests of Pennsylvania, night unfurls like a velvet curtain. Ancient hemlocks tower like dark sentinels, their branches interlacing overhead to form cathedral-like vaults, the moonlight trickling through their many-needled fingers. The forest floor is carpeted with generations of fallen needles, muffling all sound, save for the occasional drip of moisture. And that's when you hear it, a distant mewling, almost pathetic in its aura of profound misery. Is that crying? You think to ask if there's anyone else out there, but panic and keep quiet after you remember how that often ends so poorly in all those stories of mysterious wooded encounters. So, you stay quiet as the pitiful creature's cries slip between the trees, growing slowly closer. Dense, shadowy woods become a different realm after dusk, when shafts of silver moonlight pierce through the gaps in the canopy, creating ethereal spotlights on the forest floor. Mist often clings to the ground, weaving between the massive trunks of the hemlocks, providing the perfect cover for a creature that wishes to remain unseen. The dense undergrowth and deep shadows offer countless hiding places, making these forests an ideal sanctuary for the reclusive Squonk, where it can weep in solitude, its tears joining the natural moisture of the ancient woodland. That's right, dear listener. Deep in the hemlock forests of northern Pennsylvania, there lurks a creature so peculiar, so tragically unique, that its very existence seems to challenge our understanding of cryptozoology. This is the tale of the humble Squonk, perhaps the only cryptid known, not for the danger it presents an unwary traveler, but for the profound sadness and perpetual weeping. Relatable, am I right? The Squonk, or as it's known in scientific circles, and dear gods, please bear with me on this, Lacrimacorpus dissolvens, is said to be one of the most melancholic creatures in the world, unlike its more fearsome cryptid cousins, such as the Thunderbird or the Beast of Bray Road. The Squonk inspires not terror, not odd arousal, but pity with how pathetically depressing it is. According to Pennsylvania folklore, the Squonk is a forest-dwelling creature, most active at dusk and dawn, diurnal, as rodents often are. Its most distinctive feature is its ill-fitting, loose skin covered in warts, moles, and other blemishes. So he's got pizza face really, really bad. Much like many humans who struggle with body image and self-acceptance, the Squonk is consumed by its perceived flaws. It weeps constantly, leaving a trail of tears through the hemlock forest it calls home. A poignant reminder that feelings of self-loathing can affect anyone. So, if you're struggling with self-image or feelings of depression, you're not alone. Help is available. There's the National Crisis Hotline 24/7 at 988. There's the National Eating Disorders Association at 1-800-931-2237. Or the Crisis Text Line for those of you who don't want to be on a phone. Text HOME, HOME, to 741-741. Remember, seeking help is a sign of strength, not a weakness. The northern woods of Pennsylvania, particularly the state's most remote hemlock forests, are said to be the Squonk's primary domain. These solitary creatures are largely nocturnal by necessity. Their hideous appearance seems to drive them to avoid being seen, even by their own kind. Perhaps the most well-known Squonk story involves a man named J.P. Wentling, who supposedly captured a squonk by following its trail of tears. But the creature's capture led to a remarkable discovery about its defense mechanism, unique amongst the cryptids. When distressed, a squonk can quite literally dissolve into a pool of tears and bubbles. As the story goes, Wentling had successfully trapped the creature in a sack, but by the time he arrived home, all that remained was a wet spot at the bottom of the bag. The squonk had dissolved itself through its own tears, leaving nothing but a puddle of moisture behind. The squonk, in all of its body dysmorphic depression, has left its mark on popular culture, despite, or perhaps because of, its uniquely melancholic nature, from inspiring the progressive rock band Genesis's song Squonk. Yeah, no, that's a real thing that exists. I had to look and double check just to be sure because I wasn't 100% confident in my brain. Yes, that exists. So, carrying on, from the rock band Genesis's song Squonk to various cryptozoological texts, this weeping wonder has carved out its own unique niche in American folklore. Unlike many cryptids that represent our fears of the unknown or the dangerous, the squonk seems to embody something more profound, our own insecurities and self-doubt. Its constant weeping over its appearance perhaps mirrors the human struggles with self-acceptance and body image many of us struggle with. Unfortunately, the hemlock forest of Pennsylvania, the squonk's primary habitat, faces real-world challenges from climate change and infestation. Whether or not you choose to believe in the squonk, its home is very much in need of protection. So, in conclusion, while the squonk may be unique among cryptids for its profound sadness, perhaps that's exactly why its legend persists. In a world of fearsome creatures and threatening beasts, there's something touchingly human about a creature whose greatest struggle is with its own self-image. So thank you very much for listening and or watching the first ever episode of Storytime with the Sleepy Squonk. If you enjoyed this little information dump about the channel's signature cryptid, the one that represents yours truly most profoundly, please like and subscribe. This is a small channel. We're just starting out, and the Squonk needs all the support he can get. Thank you. Have a great night.